Hey everybody, haven't vlogged in a while, but it's kind of hard to because we can't really go very far, but I think most of you understand what that's like right now. Of course, living that quarantine lifestyle. It's nice having the wife home more often, but for me, it's basically been the same. You know, I just keep editing, but don't go away from the house as much as we used to. I wanted to specifically address something in regards to the crisis, the pandemic we're facing right now, because I don't think this is the majority, but if that small minority ends up watching this, or if someone makes comments or replies on that in the future, I could just forward them this vlog. But it has to do with people that are basically looking at what I'm doing, whether I'm making a tech video, making a vlog, or making a podcast, any type of content, which has kind of become my job now, thanks to you guys. Appreciate you watching and making this, dream job a reality. When people watch that I'm doing and then make a comment like, how can you be talking about iPhones? Or how can you be talking about iPads given we're in a crisis or humanity's pending doom is upon us? And how can you talk about such unimportant things when there's so much more important things going on in the world right now? Okay, I mean, at surface level, I can understand why it may seem a little bit irrelevant whether the iPhone 9 will be coming out today or next week, given, there's people dying and there's a virus that's spreading really, really fast and it has a higher death rate than most things do. When it comes to previous viruses, this one is definitely not as contained as before, and I'm not trying to make light on that situation, okay? I haven't really done an edited video on it because I feel like it's not really my place. I feel like the majority of people who know me from YouTube or Twitch or from podcasts or whatever you watch me on, my job is not to fill you in on the situation that humanity is facing or different countries or what governments are doing about this crisis. My job is to be the tech guy, or on this channel, it's basically to tell you how I feel about the subject. So that's what I'm doing now. But essentially, I'm trying to know my place, which is not the guy to fill people in on pandemics or issues the world is facing as a whole. I'm supposed to talk about tech, or on the EV channel, supposed to talk about electric vehicles. And that's kind of where I think my jurisdiction ends. I could talk about this other stuff, but for one, YouTube has been pretty tough on people who try to talk about it, between demonetization or not recommending it as much. So trying to take something that everybody's already talking about, okay? Let's just get that out of the way. Because this is a global thing that we're all facing together as a species, you read about it all the time. So many different news publications are talking about it and filling you in on it and posting updates as quick as they can. Do you really need more? I mean, all I could really do as a tech YouTuber or EV YouTuber is essentially say what I'm reading from those same sources that you can read and repeat it back to you. And it's not even really related to the genres of channels that I mainly focus on. So in that way, I just don't really see the point in stopping or changing the way I'm doing things because, the important thing is I'm limiting contact with other people. So I work from home and I stay here and I try not to go out as much. But the good news is it's been about a year now since I've started working from home. So I'm kind of comfortable with this. And luckily, this is one of the few things that this giant pandemic doesn't really change that much. It doesn't really impact my work life. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying that if there are people out there that want to take a second, take a break, because I'm sure you're hearing about the crisis. I'm sure you're hearing about the pandemic, and you just want to think about something else for a second, okay? You just want to relax your brain for a moment and just pretend that things are normal, even if they're not normal. I get that. It's not that people are trying to deny facts. They're just trying to focus on something else instead of just worrying all the time. And I'm not saying we shouldn't worry, and it does make sense to plan, but it's okay to take breaks. It's okay to put your mind at ease on occasion. It's okay to just take a step back from a topic you're following the news reports of, and you're like, okay, you know what? That's gonna be here tomorrow, and it's probably gonna be here next week, and it's probably gonna be here next month. So for the next 10 minutes or the next hour, I just want to think about something else, okay? I just want to pretend that things are normal just for a second so that I can relax, think about something to look forward to, whether it's an Apple event, whether it's a new Apple product coming out that you're excited for, and just get to think about something positive for a second. I would argue that's a healthy exercise for everybody's brain, and making sure that channels like Talos of Tech or Talos of Eve actually continue to make videos like nothing is changing, or continue to make videos like it's an everyday part of the week, is kind of important for people. It's important for people to be able to relax for a second and not think about the same thing all day, every hour, every minute. And I hope you guys understand that I'm not trying to say that to make light of the situation. I'm not trying to say we're not facing a huge problem and we shouldn't be concerned about these things. We should, but I don't think we need to dwell on them every single second of the day. Check in with news agencies, check in with reliable sources, and make sure that they're reporting accurate numbers, but you don't need to be doing that constantly. You can focus on other things. And I know, especially right now, there's a ton of people that are not working or you're not at school. So in that way, we've seen a jump in viewership when it comes to live streams or YouTube videos. We see a lot more people that are in need of entertainment or in need of information or in need of content that isn't necessarily about the same thing all day, every day. So because I hadn't really made a formal video about it, I want you guys to understand that I am taking this seriously, washing my hands as much as I can, limiting human-to-human contact as much as possible. And I do think we'll get through this in time, but I do think it's going to be a while. It's not going to change overnight. And I'm trying to keep up with World Health Organizations as much as I can so that I'm well informed. But when it comes to knowing my place and my role on the internet, Tailosive Tech is not the proper platform to inform people on that type of thing. So I'm going to leave it to the professionals for that. And in the meantime, don't freak out. Don't complain that a channel is trying to pretend things are going normally. It kind of reminds me of that episode of The Office where, you know, Jim and Michael Scott were co-managers of The Office at the same time, and there was rumors that Dunder Mifflin was going to go under and that they were all going to lose their jobs. And Jim was trying to get information from David Wallace, but Michael was so distracted with just trying to play this, you know, role-playing game and just give something fun for The Office to do. And for the longest time, Jim was like, "What are you doing? Like, we're all going to lose our jobs. This is not the right time." And finally, once he gets Michael alone, Michael just yells at him and says, "Shut up. They need this game, Jim. Just let them have this stupid little game," because Jim realized Michael was trying to get people's mind off it so that they could relax and maybe just enjoy this last couple of days together. Not that we're all gonna die soon. That's not my point. But I kind of feel like Michael in that way. It's like, just let us have one thing that remains unchanged, okay? So much has changed. So much of us have to stay home. So much of us are not in our everyday routine. Can we please just let one part of our daily life not change that much? Can we just keep our tech news? Can we keep our EV videos? Can we keep our podcasts? You know, I get that this crisis and pandemic affects everything, but can we keep something? Can we hold on to something to just relax for a moment? Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, I apologize, but I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. I appreciate you all for watching, and I wish you all the very best of health. Take care. See you in the next one.